All right, welcome back, guys. This is Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Hope everyone's doing well. We have actually a really good one here to kind of end off February. Something for you guys to consider, that Philadelphia minted quarters can be worth some money. So we're going to talk about 10 extremely lavishly priced coins that have sold here just in the last few years, and talk about why they sold for that much. Of course, grading has everything to do with it, but there are other factors involved. And it's going to blow your mind that some of these coins that probably you guys already own in your collection can be worth a lot of money. So we're going to dive right in. A pretty nice list, by the way. Gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. A few things to keep in mind, all right? Every single coin on this list, high mintage Philadelphia struck coinage. We're not talking about Denver or San Francisco. Yeah, that's right. And all coins are $10,000 or higher as far as their realized prices, with exception of one coin. I'm just going to throw that out there, kind of a little caveat. 90% of the coins all priced over $10,000. It's certainly crazy that these coins that are minted into oblivion can be worth this kind of money. So you definitely want to keep an eye out at any local coin shop you might have close by that'll have these just sitting in a innocent looking 2x2 cardboard holder for like 10-20 bucks. Ooh, I've seen quite a few of those. I've seen quite a few of those type of coins at coin shops and at the show circuit. You could really do a number and make quite a big impression on the auction circuit. If you do come across these, you grade them and then you sell them. Yeah, you could be hero for a day or probably a week or month or longer, because these coins are widely collected, all right, for a few different reasons. So yeah, pretty nice. Can't wait to jump into this one, but quick little PSA. Yes, one more of these. I have my first official Whatnot auction tomorrow night, March 1st, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time or 8 o'clock Eastern. And then for those of you that are on the Mountain Time and Central Standard Time, you guys know where you're at there. But I will be starting my blockbuster first ever coin auction. I'm a little bit kind of choked up right now because I've always wanted to do this, and to find a platform that makes it really easy for everybody, not only for the sellers but also for the buyers as well, is going to be awesome. So come check me out. I will always have my referral link down below in the description box or pinned into the comment section of this video. In case you guys wanted to sign up, you do get $15 credit to use right off the rip on any auction that you choose, whether it's mine or someone else's. I hope you use it on my auctions, of course. And I will have buy it now listings as well, in case you just want to swoop right on in, pick up a few items and dip. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, come check me out. There I am, right there, in all my glory. So let's go ahead and jump into this top 10 list. It should be very quick. All right, so here's how this is going to work. We're going to talk about the coin, the date, what makes it so special. We're going to talk about the grade, mintages. That's all important stuff. And then the big thing is how much it sold for. So we're going to go in ascending order. So this is going to be the least expensive coin on the list, but don't let that what I just said fool you, because this thing sold for a boatload of money, man. This will save anyone's bacon if they're able to pull this one and find it, sell it, grade it, and do all that great stuff. Philadelphia minted. So you're going to see on every single one of these coins, there's no mint mark right here in this little cavity area under the wreath on the reverse. And on the much more later dated coins, the mint mark would be on the obverse. So most of these, I believe, are silver. Quite common. 1940. What else can we say? 35,704,000 pieces were produced of this date, which means there are quite a few of them. Now, I elected to want to do a little bit of a shock value here and just do Philadelphia minted coins to help illustrate just how plentiful these particular dates are in comparison to how much they sold for. Now, if we're talking Denver's and San Francisco's, the mintages are a lot smaller on those. Therefore, they're quite a bit more scarce if you're trying to cherry them. So this one right here, graded out, PCGS Mint State 68. All these coins were sold on great collections, by the way. I mean, we could go on Heritage and find probably more impressive Washington quarters, but to kind of keep it brief, to show you the levity of the pricing of these. Great collections. Mentioned that there's a little bit of toning on this coin, and there is kind of like a light pastel-y, whitish, pasty blue on there. CAC certified as well. That's what that green sticker is on the label. And this one ended up selling for $9,506.25 with 22 bids on this one. And it sold June 27th, 2021. So a really, really, really recent sale. I would say that 99.9% of the coins on the list are going to be picked up by some sort of premier registry set. There's a few tone coins in there. There might be one of those instances where those coins are picked up by a prominent toner collector as well. All right, that was exciting. How about this one? How many of you have a 1941p Washington quarter sitting in your collection? Oftentimes, these coins are passed down through generation after generation. They've been sitting in an old jewelry box. They're maybe in a little envelope that was in a little safe that's been passed over by grandparents and things like that. I see it all the time, and I see just about every conceivable situation where these things are stored in these highly acidic types of material, whether it's these envelopes or, those jewelry boxes with a felt lining. All of that stuff will do quite a bit of artistic work on the coins in terms of the toning. Toning is really a type of art form that people collect and pay a lot of money into today on coins, whereas 20 to 30 years ago, they weren't there. Those people were not there. So 1941p, 79,032,000, one of the more higher minted coins on the list. This one right here ended up graded as a PCGS Mint State 68. Beautiful, very silky, satiny, smooth looking coin. The toning is pretty average. It's nothing too crazy. It's quite light, which is nice. This one right here ended up selling for $10,968.75 through 25 bids. And this one was on October 16th, 2022. So this was just about 5 months ago. That's how recent this one sold. And you can tell the market is still pretty robust even today. So believe it or not, this is the only copper nickel clad on the list. And it's a 1966 Washington quarter. A little bit of a backstory of this particular date and coin is that they weren't too hoarded that much. People were really let down, and they were a little salty after the switch over of the silver composition to the copper nickel clad. A lot of folks just spent these. They didn't see a big reason why they should save it. And it's because of that very reason that there are few examples in existence that grade out at such a high level. And you got to keep in mind, the U.S. Mint did not produce any mint sets from 65 to 67, which means there are less mint state coins out in the marketplace even today, 60 years later. It's a crazy notion. But you can see this coin right here probably spent a little time in a album of some sort, showing just really light pastel-like coloring, some yellows, a little bit of rose in there. You might even catch a little glimpse of maybe some blue as well. Very nice. A toning that you wouldn't normally see on a copper nickel clad composition is a welcome change. Check out this mintage. 821,101,500 It's the most stout mintage that we have on the list, which means they're plentiful, but a vast majority of that number is pretty well circulated out there in commerce today. So the likelihood that you'll find one right out of change is kind of a tall order. So this one right here, Mint State 68 Plus, is a top pop grade. It's the finest of this particular date, and there's probably like maybe one or two in existence for this. So this one ended up selling for, get this thing's huge, $12,937.50 with 43 bids, sold on November 13th, 2022. I think I had this one in a Monday market report a few months ago when this sold. So you're getting kind of a rehash on this one, but there you go. It's the only copper nickel clad era Washington to make the list, and it did with kind of a vengeance. That's a lot of money. Okay, more toning on some more plentiful minted coins. We have this time in 1942. So we saw 40, 41, now a 42. This one right here, again, it's a love or hate it kind of affair with the toning. It's a really dark kind of maroon tone, which is so close to being terminal. It's not really a huge favorite. However, the big selling feature with toning, aside from the color and the artwork of it, is that it is it's a semi-permanent kind of crust on the coin to help kind of give it some originality, to protect the coin from any possible circulation wear, because as soon as that toning begins to wear off, like through regular circulation wear, you'll know it. This coin looks like it's gone unscathed for pretty much its whole life. And that's a huge deal for collectors of any sort of this. This one right here, pretty high mintage. It's actually the second highest on the list at $102,096,000. This particular coin graded PCGS proof 68 plus. The only proof coin on the list that I cared to talk about because it had nice toning on it. CAC certified as well. This one ended up selling for $14,062.50 with 41 bids, and this one sold December 27th, 2020. So that was the only proof coin on the list, and we had to throw one of those in there, for the sake of this exercise. Now, a proof 1942, I just caught myself. Obviously, there weren't 102 million of that particular date produced in proof form. That's for the business strike. Let me give you the number for the proof, and you'll understand that it's rare because the proof coins, even going back to 1942, are quite low. 21,123 is the mintage of a proof Washington quarter. But if you needed to get a 42 off market, that's not quite graded that high. The good news is that you could get one for around $100 to $150. So getting a nice, rare, low minted, early kind of like World War II era coin for under $200 is a really good deal. Okay, so everyone and their mother probably has a 1957. All right, this is a date that I encounter quite often in large bulk kind of BU lots, 57s, 56s, 58s. This is like common fodder. However, where are you going to find one that has this level of toning? That obverse is pretty. It's like outer space, and that's what it kind of looks like. 46,532,000 is the mintage on this. Again, very, very obtainable coin in high mint state condition and keeping it under like $15. So if you were able to cherry pick one that has a little toning on it, some of that original crust, you might have something going for there. All right, so don't hesitate to send something like that out, and kind of like try your luck and see. If it comes back a 67 or a plus designation, that'd be awesome. Although this one right here is a 68, and that's kind of the grade you need to be for this thing to really take off. It's also CAC green bean as well. This one sold for $14,062.50 with 58 bids. Sold on December 11th, 2022, much like the prior coin. 1947, man, I've owned every single one of these in mid-state condition because I had put together a Washington Quarter album set, and I was only looking for mid-state coins. And the Philadelphias were really easy to get. A lot of coin shops had them. Picked a couple of them up at a local show for relatively affordable. This was one of them. 47 right here, Philadelphia. 22,556,000 pieces produced for this year in mint. This particular example, graded PCGS Mid-State 68, which is a very insane high grade made for specifically registry set collectors. This particular coin ended up selling for $15,189.75 with 15 bids. Sold November 20th, 2022. Again, just a few short months ago. So a lot of recent sales as the market was just exploding for these. Here's another good one. Now we're kind of dipping into the 1930s. But again, Philadelphia minted coins, even from the 30s, are still very obtainable. You might end up spending $40 to $50 for a nice, pleasing mint-state coin for your album. But always look out for a coin that's unassuming in the coin dealer's stock. That's going to have some toning, much like this one. So for 36, 41,300,000 were produced of this coin. And, I mean, the big reason why this one's here is, of course, the original crusty toning that you see before you. So before you guys decide, hey, I prefer blast white, and you want to strip off the original pretty rainbow toning on some of these coins, you might want to reconsider, because if some collector who has incredibly deep pockets is willing to pay you the house for these things, you might as well just go ahead and sell them the way they are, and then go and buy yourself a BU roll of the coins that you do want. So this one right here, graded out NGC. It's the only NGC graded coin on the list. Mid-State 68 star. The star denotes eye appeal on an NGC slab. The coin looks great, by the way, in the NGC slab photo. This one sold for $15,220.12. 46 total bids, and this one sold December 26th, 2021. We're down to our final three, and who would have thought 1962 would be on the list? I mean, this is a date that I'm sure a lot of people have come across. It's one of the slots in a older Washington Quarter folder or album that will generally have a coin in it, because it's so common, right? And it's so common in mid-state condition. But find one that grades out higher than a 67, and you're really going to be setting yourself up really well. Mintage-wise, 36,156,000 pieces were produced for the 1962 Philadelphia date. This particular example is a PCGS Mid-State 67 Plus. Gold Shield as well. This one ended up selling for $15,750 with one sold bid. So that was kind of like the set reserve price, the floor, so to speak. And this one sold August 18th, 2019. So it's one of the older listings on our list here. All right, incredible, 1962. Who would have thought? 1948. We've talked about, just about every other 1940s date within this series, but heck, I mean, let's throw a 48 in there, one that has just simply amazing toning. I like when I see like olive greens on there, because it's a very desirable color when it comes to toning progression on silver. So glad to see this one's here. I mean, it's certainly worth the premium. This one is 35,196,000 pieces made in 1948 for the P-Mints. This particular example, graded PCGS Mid-State 68. So all that toning really kind of helped encase the coin, with its originality for the longest time. So this thing is highly lustrous. CAC green bean as well on this one. The coin sold for a rich amount of money. How about $16,951.50 with 47 bids, sold January 17th, 2021. So that's a number 2 coin. Here is the number 1 coin on this list. And sure, it has to be the first year, the first date of the Washington Quarter, 1932. And kind of crazy to see this here without either a Denver or San Francisco mint mark on the reverse, because those two coins, the DNS, are referred to as the key dates of the series. All right, so here we are with a P Mint 32, which the mintage is quite light, for the first year of the Washington quarter. There was a lot of hype, involved with this release. So I'm surprised they didn't make more of these. So 5,404,000 was the tally of the mintage on this one. Check out this grade, man. 67 with the toning is Super Crustalaceous. CAC green bean as well. So you put this whole package together, you have one blockbuster coin. But who would have thought that this coin right here, I've owned a number of Mint State 1932s, and I've never sold it for this amount of money, which came out to $25,876.12 with 57 bids. This one, our oldest auction sale at September 2nd, 2018. That's the big one right there. It eclipsed the previous coin by nearly $9,000, and that's pretty significant because this thing went all the way on the auction block a few years ago. Pre-pandemic auction right here too. So that's going to go ahead and wrap her up for this one. Those are the kind of like top 10 most notable Washington quarters, all Philadelphia minted, to have sold here in the last like 5 years. All right, so you got 5 years worth of data. There was plenty more that sold for between $1,000 and $10,000. We did talk about one of them, threw that one in there, and very collectible. And what's really cool about Washington quarters, that I'm sure that some of you are probably not aware, you don't have to worry about strike designation. No full steps, no full heads, no full split bands, no full bell lines, none of that stuff. You just find a really nice specimen with some color on it, and you're sliding into home. Like, you're stealing home and you're collecting that paycheck. These are truly incredible coins, and they are widely collected. They are a top 3 U.S. coin series that people are collecting. So that's it. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you like any one specific quarter on this list? Do you have any older quarters that are in really nice shape with a little toning that you might consider grading? Think about it. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you again for tuning in on this video, and thank you for all your support. Come check me out on TikTok as well, at Blue Ridge Silverhound. But that's going to go ahead and wrap her up. You guys take care. Have a great day. Keep on collecting, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.